Evening, welcome back to Where's the Owl's Sleep. It's another episode of the Parliament. This week it is Stocks on the main screen after last week's confusion. How's it going, Stocks? You good?
Yeah, mate, not bad. A little bit of a sore throat. I didn't have enough vocal strength to shout out both West Ham and the referee earlier on, so I'm starting to suffer a little bit.
So you had a little trip to the Soccer Bowl Stadium today, yeah?
Yes, East London soccer franchise FC Doom Bowl.
That's the first time I've heard that one. I love it.
Yeah.
How was it? Last game of the season? Last home game of the season. Was there a little celebration? I don't know what there was a celebration of, but after the game, anything like that?
Yeah, it was a funny old thing. Like they always do the lap of appreciation, but it was a little bit different because we were saying goodbye to four pretty experienced players in Fabianski, Cresswell, Soufal, and to a certain degree Danny Ings. So
okay.
I stayed for a bit.
Yeah.
It's safe to say not everyone did, and to be honest, I don't blame them at all.
Yeah.
It's only because Cresswell's done 11 years. He deserves a little bit of my time, I'd say.
Yeah, very fair point. I understand people leaving, especially after not the greatest season, not the greatest game today either. But
that's an understatement, mate.
Frustration's running high. We're at a three-man team at the minute this evening. John is having technical issues, but we have got Samir with us. How's it going, Samir? You good?
Yes, all good.
Samir's been to the gym this week, decided to come with no sleep.
He was all pumped up for Arsenal thrashing Newcastle, weren't he?
Yeah, mate, I'm here for that.
Some of the arms out and smoke after an Arsenal win. Fair enough. We'll get to that, though. We will get to that. Don't you worry about that. But we are going to start here today. Yesterday's FA Cup, Crystal Palace have won their first trophy in their history, which is bonkers when you think about it. But great achievement. Fantastic for them, to be fair. Loving it. Like someone said to me yesterday, are you a little bit disappointed because it takes the shine off you breaking your trophy drought? And I was like, no, not at all. It's good to see. I know I've got a couple of Crystal Palace fans as friends. Sent them messages yesterday. So, yeah, happy to see them win it. Anybody catch the game?
I did, mate. I did. I watched it from start to finish. I even watched the build-up on BBC for once, which I seldom do. I have to say, in an age where BBC gets criticised a lot, I really enjoyed the little VT with the interview with Eze. Like, I know it gets repeated about how he got let go of a lot of clubs, but it was just a nice little piece.
Yeah.
And for some reason, like, I don't really care about what Man City have got to say because you see them so much. But it was nice having a bit of time on Palace. It kind of got me even more excited for the game.
Fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. Well, what did you think of the game itself, though?
Interesting. I'm going to sound a bit hypocritical in that I'm delighted Palace won it.
Yeah.
It's a good thing for them. It's a good thing for English football. At the same time, I thought in places they were a bit lucky, and despite being well under par, I think Man City did kind of create enough chances to easily get back in the match, if not win it. But I think it was kind of the story of their season in that as a team, they're just not clinical enough. And if you don't score when you make your chances, it really does cost you in any game, whether it be final, bloody normal league match. You really have to take your chances these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And in a final, it's not always about performance. It's just about getting the job done on the day. And I feel that Palace had a few very big performances in there where they needed it from some of their better players. And that got them over the line in the end, to be fair. You're very quiet there, Samir. I'm guessing you didn't really catch much of it or any of the game.
Yeah, I didn't get any of it, man. Honestly, I only found out last week from you lot that the final was going to be on Saturday. Because me thinking it would have been at the end of the season, and I had plans yesterday, booked from ages.
Yeah.
So I didn't watch it, but I certainly watched the highlights this morning. and yeah, it just looked like Crystal Palace were, obviously the fans and stuff like that were ridiculously happy. The penalty, I saw the penalty miss. Oh, save, should I say, actually, not the miss, I would say big save. And how the crowds went wild for that. You know what? I'm just happy for Crystal Palace. Like you said, I know a few Palace fans as well, and certainly didn't expect that. I look down at my phone and I see the score, and I see 1-0 to Palace. I did not expect that at all.
Yeah, same. It was a very unexpected result, to be fair, and even going into like the last sort of 5 minutes, I was still half expecting Man City to somehow get a goal, take it to extra time, and potentially go from there. But Palace held out because in the end, you were seeing like players like Gahey came off with concussion. They took off Adam Wharton near the end, and it was like, is this where City finally break them down? But they held strong, so very, very fair play to them for getting the win. There's sort of a few things that I'd like to delve a bit deeper in. I wish I had a picture for this, but I haven't actually set it up. I'll see if I can set it up. In fact, let me roll to something else first, and we can roll back to that so I can set that up. So I want to talk about this. I don't know if any of you have seen this, but there's a lot of talk on TIFOs at the minute, which are like the flags, the fans holding the ground. This was the Crystal Palace TIFO yesterday at the cup final.
Yeah.
Which is based off the back of the picture at the bottom left, which is the dad with his two sons. The two sons are in the picture on the bottom right, and the dad has since passed away.
Oh,
that explains it. I was actually going to ask this once we come on because I didn't notice it, and I saw it on our on the picture.
Yeah.
Mate, that's a nice touch.
And that is a club-funded TIFO, by the way. So Crystal Palace have a club have decided that was going to be their main TIFO for their cup final yesterday.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So what do you think? I personally think this is literally the best TIFO I've seen in football ever.
Me too. Because you don't really see them about fans, do you? It's all always about players or former players. So this is the first time for me I've seen one about an actual fan, and yeah, that's touching. Honestly, imagine being them two boys having to look at that, man. That's tears.
It's an exceptional moment. From what I can gather, neither of the boys knew it was happening.
No, that's
until it was revealed, and they both said it was revealed, and it took them about 10 minutes to even recover from the moment of it being revealed.
Oh my days! And then they went on to win as well.
And they went on to win the game. Yeah,
you can't forget days like that, man. Honestly, that's going to live with them forever.
Palace are a club doing so many things right.
Yeah,
so many things right. We're talking manager recruitment, player recruitment, fan experience, doing small things like this. It matters so much.
Yeah.
And yeah, fully deserved victory.
Yeah,
well, I'm pleased they got the victory. I won't go.
Honestly, as soon as once they've done that, I imagine everyone was hoping for Palace to go and win, because that is beautiful. That is touching, honestly.
I was wondering when the game was on. I was like, I don't get it. Am I missing something? Because it's like a magic eye picture I didn't understand. So, thanks, Mitch.
I didn't pick up what it was as the game was going on, but then as sort of like after the game had finished, I was listening to something on like a breakdown of the final, and someone mentioned the TIFO, and then about 10 minutes later, whoever they mentioned it to had done a little bit of research and came back and was like, actually, this is a pretty like ridiculously special moment for Palace to create.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can't even imagine what that must feel like for them two boys. The club have just won their first trophy ever, and they've put on a display this in tribute to basically to them and their dad who's passed away, which is just it's bonkers. Like when we first started speaking about it just then, and I finished explaining what it was, I genuinely got goosebumps just explaining it again.
Yeah. Do you think the players knew about it beforehand? And probably because what I've seen from the highlights, I saw a completely different Crystal Palace team. So maybe that like helped them in a sense, that egged them on, and it looked like a good performance. Well, more in the first half from Palace.
I think I'd put the overall performance was like a battling back to the walls one. The keeper weren't tested too much, but as Mitch sort of said a few minutes ago, performances don't matter in finals. Winning does. Like, no one's going to have the asterisks and say you didn't play very well. Like they didn't. They tested the Man City keeper one of the times. Like, I'm sure we're going to get onto Henderson, but he was on the pitch and he did have a very good game. Perfect timing as always, mate. Yeah, they done what they had to do to win the final, and as Mitch said, with some excellent performances. At points, Eze was just the coolest man in Wembley.
Yeah, that is.
But yeah, onto the big talking point.
Yeah, like I wasn't going to speak about this tonight because this is normally the type of thing me and Stocky do on a Monday evening with the Spurs boys, but we're not on tomorrow evening. So, as this is a key moment in the game, as Samir, as you haven't watched it, basically ball's gone over the top. Haaland's chasing it down. Henderson's come out, slapped it away towards the corner flag. Yeah. No one thought anything of it at the time, but replays show that Henderson's hand and the ball are outside the box at the point he touches it. So there was quite a lengthy VAR review, and VAR decided that because the play was going away from goal and towards the corner flag, it wasn't a clear and obvious goal scoring opportunity. And he didn't get sent off. Which I haven't spoke to a single person who agrees with that decision at all, because it's Henderson's slap that takes it towards the corner flag. Haaland's touch nicks it over his shoulder, and he's got an open goal to roll it into. I am baffled about how he hasn't been sent off it.
Do you know what? Genuinely, like, I know people will say, "Oh, it'll spoil the game." It's an absolutely scandalous decision. I have to say that is going away from goal. He's at the edge of the area, so even if the ball bounces twice, it's not like you're on the 6-yard box and going wide. That's likely to go out for a goal kick or a corner. This is at the edge of the 18-yard box. How could they possibly? And it's only going, as you say, because it's going wide because he slapped it away.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I mean, because there wasn't even much protest from Man City at the time.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't at all. I don't think anybody really. I don't think anybody at all watching in the stadium, anyone anywhere, really realised that Henderson was actually outside of his box.
Haaland messed up though. No, did no one see
Haaland? Haaland
he
didn't even appeal.
He's focused on the ball, which is fair enough. But I know people are like, "Oh, technology, what's the fucking point?" Don't get the point of having it, and you're not going to use it, and then you make up shit rulings to vindicate what a ref's done. Like, I don't blame the lino, I don't blame the ref for this. This was like fair enough. But if you're going to have VAR checking these things, they should at least be able to make the right decision. If you're going to take the game at other points, at least get it right when you should use it, and then not doing it.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. The ref can't be to blame because he's at a dodgy angle. The lino or the assistant referee is meant to be in line with the back four, and the ball's gone over the top, so he's never going to be in line with this decision, so he can't really be blamed. Also, they went to the studio at half-time, and I think 3 out of 4 of them said you cannot spoil the cup final for that.
I knew that was going to be an excuse. Of course.
What do you mean? Only Wayne Rooney. He turned around and went, "What are you talking about? It's a red card. It should have been a red card, and it doesn't matter about anything else."
Yeah. I mean, again, right. I think this was one of the reasons why we started this, because football media just want you to grab onto a narrative. They don't. It's not about a game. It's about the story around the game for them. Just tell us what happened, why it happened, what they done wrong, what they could do better. Don't feed us with this shit that it would spoil a cup final. They're the fucking rules. Years ago, right? West Ham were in a semi-final not against Nottingham Forest, and someone went through and West Ham player kind of slipped and took out the player. Ref sent him off after 2 minutes. The semi-final's done. No one said that day, "Oh yeah, you don't want to spoil it, do you?" Bullshit.
You don't want to spoil it.
Don't want to spoil a game. So if I go and break someone's legs, I won't get sent off because they don't want to spoil the game.
No sense.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just bonkers that could be an excuse. I'm not even going to call it a reason because that's ridiculous. An excuse behind anything. It's just makes no sense to me. But off the back of that, for people who are watching or might watch back, or Palace fans or anything like that, we're not taking anything away from Crystal Palace here.
No,
The
not.
moment we're saying that a decision should have been made different, it wasn't. The game goes on. You've gone and won the game. You deserved it. Fantastic. And again, well done.
Yeah.
Amazing move.
Yeah, it doesn't take away me being delighted they've won it.
Yeah,
Like, it's good for English football. Someone else is getting their name on a trophy. But,
yeah,
hey, look, if you're going to get good fortune like that, make sure you use it to the best you can. And they did. They battled hard and fair play. And I think what makes it worse, if you're of a City persuasion, Henderson really did have like a decent game from there on in. There was one particular save from Doku where he sort of
he cut in.
opened up his hips. Yeah, opened up his hips. Went for the top corner. It was a really good save from Henderson. Obviously, saved the penalty.
Yeah, that was big.
Oh, why we talk about the penalty? Bizarre.
Stocky, right, I need to come to you on this before we go any further. You're a number 9, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you in any world letting anybody else take that penalty?
No.
Hell no.
I was just baffled. Absolute cup final. I think I've only played with one player ever who I would ever let take that penalty over me in a cup final.
Yeah.
And I cannot believe that Haaland has let Marmoush take the penalty over him, regardless of records in like penalties taken this season or whether he's taken up Frankfurt. Like, you're potentially the best number 9 in the world. Why are you not taking a pen in a cup final?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I tweeted something on top of that. Like, all right, I think the 9 should take it. That's his job, to be cold in front of goal. But if he doesn't, you've got De Bruyne,
Captain,
Silva. These are all players of the highest quality with sound technical ability and temperament. Like, I've got no doubt. Is it who took it?
Marmoush took it.
Munoz. I've got no doubt about his technical ability. I think he's a lovely player, and it's going to be a joy to watch. But to take your first penalty for the club in a cup final,
Yeah.
look, 9 times out of 10 he scores it, but this is the time he didn't, and this is what we're going to talk about. It just seemed bizarre. And is this a management decision? Because in most cases, these things are decided before the game.
Yeah,
that's true.
Mad.
I doubt it was the management, to be fair. I reckon I was all on the players in that moment.
I don't think it was, because it wasn't like there was a discussion. It was Haaland picked up the ball, stood there, and as soon as the box was cleared, he gave the ball to Marmoush. It wasn't like one of these where they have a discussion, it's a back and forth. Penalty was given. Haaland picked it up like he was going to take it, stood on the spot, waited, box cleared, turned around, gave the ball to Marmoush.
Oh, that's shocking. That's even worse.
Yeah.
That's even worse, to give the ball to him.
So it was 100% planned that Marmoush was taking that penalty.
Yeah, that sounds of it. Yeah, 100%.
I don't know if you've got any more slides to come up on this, on this game, Mitch.
I haven't. No, the only other thing I was going to bring up right at the end would have been Daniel Munoz, because
he was one of the things I was going to say.
Yeah, I don't know if he got man of the match because I turned it off pretty quickly after the game. I don't know who was given man of the match officially, but for me, he was exceptional. Like, everybody talks about Wembley being a big pitch and it being energy sapping, and you're not allowed. Shouldn't really play your normal way. You have to play your way into it from start to finish. He did not running up and down that right hand side, and he was a monster on both ends of the pitch. Exceptional performance from him.
Absolutely, he's had a quality few months from what I've seen. I didn't really notice him early doors in the season, but as it's gone on, spotted him a lot more. Definitely a contender for signing of the season.
Oh yeah.
Nearly nabbed a goal himself. VAR got that one right with the offside because it came off for Sar's legs.
Yeah.
In the I was just gonna like. It feels like we're kicking a man when he's down with Man City, but they had some glaring deficiencies.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, there's another thing I tweeted watching it. The amount of times the ball went out to the right hand side, and they've set it back to Akanji, so like the right centre back, because obviously Palace are sticking to their line. And they're like, beat us, because they're confident. They don't think Man City are going to keep whipping it in, just like playing it into dangerous areas. The amount of times the ball's come back to Akanji and he's trapped it, and he's either laid it back to the winger or gone inside one. Like, surely, even if you're a centre back, surely you can just put one round the corner onto the penalty spot. It was infuriating because all they did was shoot themselves in the foot every time.
Yeah, like, and regardless of how confident Palace would have been in that, if you put the right ball in, regardless of how good a team is in the air, how big the players are, the right ball beats everything.
Oh, yeah. And do you know what? I don't care how good you are as a defender. No defender wants to face their own goal or be running in at the goal to deal with something.
Yeah.
It just takes one minute misjudgment and that flicks off your shin pads in the bottom corner and things like that.
Yeah.
They just didn't test it. And they just... Although Palace maintained an excellent shape, and a big shout out to Glazner as well, because tactically it was spot on. And it was well mentioned in the commentary that he said, all right, we lost that game, we ain't going to lose again.
Yeah.
And props to him because he'd done it. And again, another impressive facet to their victory.
Yeah, totally agree on that as well. I think I've got one more sort of side note on this. I've seen Tottenham fans using this and Newcastle winning the trophy, and there's a couple of others on the continent of teams that have won their first trophy in years and years and years and years and years. And they're using this as an omen to feel they're going to win on Wednesday. Which to me just means they're forgetting what the exact definition of the word Spursy actually is.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me. But we will see come Thursday. I might be wrong. But it literally now would be the most Tottenham thing ever to lose on Wednesday against a team they've beat 3 times this season already. Which, again, today happened. We had beat Arsenal 3 times this season already, and we lost today. So it can happen in a final that they're equal kind of teams.
Yes.
When all these other teams are breaking trophy droughts, it would be the most Tottenham Spursy thing ever. So, yeah, I wouldn't count your chickens just yet, Tom.
Yeah. I know we're going to talk on that, but it's just such a horrible matchup for me.
It is.
We could finally see the final death knell of Manchester United.
Yeah.
Because of the turmoil they'll be in as a club without Champions League revenues. But also, no one wants Tottenham winning the trophy.
Yeah.
But individually, I've got a lot of Tottenham friends. I want the best for them. But largely, as a collective, hell no.
I'm actually in the other boat. I'd actually prefer Tottenham to win it. But, we'll get on that in a bit. Right. Let's roll into Premier League for now. So, this weekend... We won't do everything. We'll just do the relegation settled. Champions. What the hell? What is Bixby doing? The champions are settled. So let's just talk about them European spaces. Yeah. So Friday night, Villa and Chelsea both won. Sorry, Stocky, you're involved in that as well. Earlier on in the day before today, Nottingham Forest beat West Ham. Brentford lost to Fulham. And then Arsenal beat Newcastle, which has left the table looking like this.
Took us out. Thank God.
Yeah. You'd be on this little box now, Samir.
You've escaped again. You was back in it for. You was out a week. You was in a week. You're back out again this week.
That's why he's got the vest on. He's flexing.
Exactly.
So here we are. We have Manchester City who are playing Bournemouth on Tuesday, I believe.
Yeah.
And then we have all of the last games. Is it Tuesday? I've got a different slide for it. Yeah, it's definitely Tuesday. So we've got Brighton, Liverpool tomorrow, Palace, Wolves, and Man City, Bournemouth Tuesday. They're the last 3 games of this game week, which, depending on what City do, leaves this like stupidly tight.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We've got 3 teams on 66, 2 teams on 65, all with a game to play.
That's nuts.
But the caveat of it is Chelsea and Forest play each other.
Yeah.
So the reality is one of them two has to miss out.
Well, I can speak from first hand.
Or even both. If they draw and everybody else wins, they're both out of it.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that could be a draw. I know you've been beating this drum for a long time, Mitch, but Forest were not good today. They were fortunate. West Ham actually gave them the first goal.
Yeah.
Like when you see it, like it's so bad.
Yeah.
Like the keeper literally passes it to Gibbs White.
Oh.
Like it's a disgrace. After a positive start, they really didn't do much. They've got some all right players there, but they weren't good. But do you reckon even Chelsea could be? I've not been blown away by Chelsea recently either. So
I think they're slowly looking better though, Chelsea. I think they're slowly starting to become a slightly better team. As much as I didn't think they were great against Man United, I thought they were good against us, not great against Man United. They were decent against Liverpool as well.
I didn't catch the Man United game. I will be honest. The game's on Friday night. I could not be less interested about. I think
it was horrible.
I think I'd been at, and I was like, oh, should I what? I'm like, nah.
No.
Me and Mitch were at during the day,
Yeah.
and we was talking about it on the way about. I'm like, nah, don't fancy him.
You didn't miss much, honestly. You didn't miss much. It was a terrible game. I thought it was going to be a draw.
To be fair, on Friday night, Samir, what did you think of the timing? I quite enjoyed the timing because you had one game kick off and get to half time, then the other game kick off.
Yeah.
And then, so I watched the whole of one first half, then 20 minutes of the first half of the other game, then switch back to the first game, watch the end of that, and then watch the end of the second game. I was like, this is actually quite good. I quite like the way they've set this up.
Is that like kind of like the Amazon timings? You know, when I used to have the Amazon day?
Yeah.
And they'd have like staggered so you could see a bit
It was a little bit like that. I actually quite enjoyed the way they'd set it up so you could catch more of the games rather than missing pretty much all of one game.
Yeah, but them 2 fixtures were another one that caught me off guard. Like, didn't even know it was on. Someone messaged in the group chat just before kickoff. Wait, there was a Friday game. I was like, what? And then I see. So I didn't get home till about 8:30. So I'm watching the first half of Chelsea and Man United. Did not know any of them were playing that on that day, man. The fixtures are all over the gaff, honestly.
Them 2 got moved due to the one of them got moved due to the FA Cup. And then I think it was Tottenham then requested to play on the Friday as well because they didn't want to play a day after Man United due to the Europa League final.
And that got accepted?
It got accepted, yeah.
Obviously it did, but what?
It's fair grand. I'd say that's fair grand, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I think you're going into a European final. Well, actually, I don't think at the time they were even in the final. I think they made the request before they got in the final. As soon as the Man United game was moved, they made the request to say, look, if we're playing each other in the final, we don't want to be playing the day after.
Yeah. And you know what? It's fair. I hear that.
Yeah. Pretty fair point. So, right, on this one, is anybody now thinking someone else misses out? I think Stocky's sort of nailed his colours to the mast potentially for Chelsea and Forest that are going to miss out. Does anybody think any different?
Who have you got last day, Mitch?
We're at home to Everton.
Oh, okay.
So we're at home to Everton. Chelsea play Forest, which I think is at Forest. Ooh. Aston Villa are at Man United. And I think Man City have got someone like Leicester, maybe.
No, Fulham.
Fulham. Okay,
Yeah.
there you go.
Fulham.
Ooh, Fulham just got their record points total in the Prem.
Yeah, that's a big win for them.
Yeah, so yeah, that was it. That was the only one I got wrong. So City are at Fulham.
That's trickier for City and Fulham than I envisaged. I'm assuming the Tottenham Man United game is going to go long. I reckon that's going to extra time.
Well, it's going to be 2-1 on penalties after they've taken 12 each, isn't
Yeah, mate.
it?
Yeah, mate. If we keep saying this, it's going to be like 7-0, and we're going to have the night of nights.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that plays into Villa's hands a little bit. Because
Yeah,
Man United are going to win it and they don't care, or their season's done. And
But hear me out on this, because I've said this a couple of times and everybody has sort of looked at me like I'm crazy or I've got 3 heads. This is Man United's last game of the season at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Don't you think that is going to provide enough motivation for them to put in a performance?
No, because I'd say against anyone else, but Villa are the better team. I don't see
Villa are the better team, but
much better team.
Man United's performances have been going up and up and up over the last few weeks, yeah? And they're now pretty much full strength. So they've got all the players back that they would want to be playing. So I genuinely don't think that's going to be as easy as a lot of people are making out.
Yeah, by the sounds of it, I don't think it is going to be easy either. But I look at it just depends on what team United are going to put out. And like Stock said, they could be happy about the Europa League win, so they won't put that much effort, or they might be upset about it and still not give as much because the season's done. Like where are they going if they win against Villa? They're not going anywhere. They're still.
Yeah, but I think you're underestimating the last home game of the season.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that.
And it's Man United, by the way. Like, so their fans are not gonna have getting slapped up in their last home game of the season.
Yeah.
What you want and what you get are 2 different things.
Yeah, that's true.
I get that, but I feel like it is going to be a wall of noise there, and I think everybody at the club who's been there long enough will be like, look, we can't just phone this one in regardless of what happens on Wednesday.
Yeah, it'll be a strong team. I think it'll be a strong team.
I think it's best to reserve judgment till we see how Wednesday goes, because I just really think it's a massive deciding factor on what happens on their last game.
100%.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I can't put my finger on the Chelsea and Nottingham Forest one. That's just going to be thing. But that don't really affect you lot too much, innit? Like you said, because they're facing each other. So they both can't get it. Yeah,
so one of them has to, one of Forest or Chelsea has to miss out on Champions League.
Yeah.
They have to, because if they draw, Forest are instantly missing out. Because they don't... Wait, they go above Villa. But then they don't go above... Unless City lose 2 on the bounce, then Forest have to win to get in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if City have lost 2 on the bounce and Forest draw, they'll be on 66 and above Villa. But then Villa have to lose to Man United. And then it's Newcastle, Chelsea, Forest. Regardless of what happens from that point. So then if Villa win or City win either of their last 2 games, Forest have to beat Chelsea to get in.
Yeah. This is tasty, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
This is tasty.
Do you know what?
We're not part of it.
It's such an interesting day, and I'm going to miss it because hopefully I'm at the playoff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be up late watching Match of the Day on that.
Oh, mate, it's going to be crazy. I'm going to be at a party with... I'm not even sure... I'm not sure what we're going to do next week, to be honest, because me and Jack are at the same party, so... It might just be you 2 and Samir. I mean, you 2 and John.
Yeah. Mate, if Orient are in the Championship,
that's it. Yeah,
I
think that's pretty much all of us out then. Yeah,
we may have to do a midweek roundup.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind that, to be fair.
Yeah. That's what we'll do. It won't be next Sunday. We'll pick up a day and we'll do something during the week instead.
Yeah.
A little roundup during the week.
Because there'll be a lot to round up on. I think it could be one of the match of the days, you know, where they don't have a game in its block. They chop.
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
They've got to do it. They've got to do it like in the time frame. So it'll be like, right, 26 minutes in, Chelsea take the lead here. And then they flick to that game and do a bit and keep moving about. Yeah. They have to do that.
Oh God, that's one worth recording. That's worth recording that on the pod.
Yeah. If we don't drop out of it, I'm watching that. If we drop out of it, I'm never watching football again.
If they drop out, Samir's getting time codes tattooed on him and everything.
Mate, it would be an absolute nightmare.
He's got like a barcode on his arm.
Sunderland tattoos, they're all coming out. Wait,
that would be an absolute nightmare. But I think us against Everton at home is the biggest banker of the games next week. Everton have just signed off at their stadium. They can't move anywhere in the table. Newcastle are going to be at it. So I feel that's the one game that I would be confident. If I had to put money on any of these games, that would be the game I'd pick.
2-0 in the first 30 minutes.
Mitch.
Yeah.
I hear on my way home that Isaac was not in the squad today.
No,
is that just a day thing? Or is it, do you know, is about next week? Will he be there next week?
Not sure.
Because if you go in it with Callum Wilson, no disrespect to him, but I don't think.
I think we slap up Everton either way. I genuinely feel we put 4 or 5 past them next week. I don't think it'll be Wilson. I think it'll be Osler now.
Yeah, he was that.
Callum Wilson was atrocious today.
Yeah, he was.
Really?
He was shocking. He was shockingly bad. I think that is the last we see of Callum Wilson unless we're giving him 20 minutes at the end of the game next weekend. But I don't see how Isak doesn't play next week. Because I actually believe, because he trained this week. And I think this was a decision made by Howe as a little bit of an insurance policy. Because I think we could have gone all out today, still lost, made the injury worse, and then him not play next week.
Okay.
Whereas I feel he saved him this week, which is why we set up a little bit more defensively, hoping to grind out a draw, potentially nick it if we could, so that we can unleash him next week to make sure that we win.
Okay, fair enough.
And for people that say, Howe doesn't think like that, look at what we did to Liverpool a few weeks before the cup final. We went there, he didn't play, we played a mad system, and Howe came out after the final and said Isak could have played. We did that to not let them know what the plan was for the final.
Yeah, I remember that.
So he's got previous, and I feel that that's going to be the case. Isak will be there next week, and I think we hit them for 4 or 5.
I reckon if he did play today, he possibly could have won, you know.
If he did play today, we would have won.
Yeah, I reckon he would have won.
There was opportunities we created that Raya had to save, that Isak, although it wasn't Wilson on the end of them taking shots, Isak would have created the chances a little bit better for who they were falling to, because Wilson was involved. And then there was a few moments on the break where like Murphy had it or Gimenez had it and was looking for a running behind, and it was Wilson. And he was like moving backwards. He was so slow, so they didn't give him the ball, and the break just didn't happen. Yeah, and he was that bad that Arsenal were so confident they took Saliba off for no reason with like half hour to go.
I didn't even hear commentary like that. I thought it was down to an injury or something.
They just took him. They just made a sub. It was just like, Wilson's doing nothing. Let's just change this.
We played so much better. It made no sense. We played so much better when we took off Saliba.
Yeah, it was mad.
That was weird. I thought it was an injury. What is this guy doing? What a risk to take. What, he's that confident? Callum was that's
I'm pretty sure there was no talk of an injury. He didn't go down. He didn't look injured. They just made a sub. They just randomly made a sub. It's crazy.
That is weird.
Crazy. So I think we're there. It's just a case of who's joining us. And I believe it will be Man City, and Chelsea.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
You think Chelsea's going to win at Nottingham Forest? It's going to be loud.
I don't think they're gonna need to.
A draw?
I don't think they're gonna need to. I think City draw one and win one of their last two.
Oh, so you're saying
So
Villa?
City will get 69. Newcastle will be on 69 after beating Everton. I think Villa draw with Man United and Chelsea draw with Nottingham Forest.
Okay. All right.
Mate,
Hmm.
don't bet on it.
Yeah,
I'm going Nottingham Forest. I'm going to go Nottingham Forest. I think Nottingham Forest will make it instead of Chelsea.
So you think Chelsea? So Forest beat Chelsea, yeah?
Yeah.
And then who are your other two?
Fuck that. I have to say you. And yeah.
Well, you don't have to say us. You can say whoever you want.
No, but you got Everton, innit? If you got Everton, if you had anyone else, then yeah. And St. James's Park is just going to be so flipping loud, and I hate that because I would really want you to drop out.
I know.
And us being the reason.
I know you do. But you've had your week. You've had your day. This is today's for you. You beat us today. Well done.
Thank God.
Good effort. But you're not having another one next Sunday. I'm not having that. No way.
I need that.
No. Not having that whatsoever.
Yeah, you know, I'll be better. I hope so, man.
No, I'm telling you, we hit 4 or 5. We hit them for 4 or 5 next.
I'm lying. The first 30 minutes, I can see it.
Mate. Next week is going off. I reckon Joe Linton's back as well next week. It's going to be a problem for them.
Yeah. Your crowd's going to be rocking, man. It's going to be too much for Everton.
Yeah. What is it, 4 o'clock kickoff and all that?
Yeah.
Problem is James's Park at them times. Jordy's on the piss from 10 a.m., 9, 10 a.m., get round to 4 o'clock kickoff time. It's going to be raucous, mate.
Exactly, yeah. I don't like Everton's chances in that game.
Telling you, 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Now I'm saying it.
All right, then you, Forest and City. Did you say it would be bad if Villa miss out? I'm sure you said that.
Villa are in trouble. Villa are in trouble. Chelsea are in a little bit of trouble, and Man United are in trouble if they don't get Champions League football. They're the 3 teams that need that revenue to. Villa need it to not have a fire sale.
Yeah.
Man United need it to up the level of player that they're going to look for in the summer to get what Amorim wants.
Yeah.
And Chelsea need it because they're just a basket case that buys 20 players every window anyway. So without it, they're not going to be able to have another complete rejig. As much as I don't even think they need one.
Yeah.
But I think they need to. I think they'll look to go big on a striker, and it sort of, if they haven't got it, and we've got it, and City won't be looking for a striker anyway. I don't know. They might still get their targets, but
I still think they will.
But say we get it and Man United get it, yeah. We're looking for a decent backup striker, and then Man United will 100% be looking for a starting striker. So if it comes to the point of who they're going to choose over Chelsea, Newcastle, or Man United, all Chelsea can offer them is a bag load of money. And I don't think they give out massive contracts now. Inter have just equalised against Lazio. Oh no, wait, yeah, it finished 2-2.
What? Wait, what? Oh,
is that full time? Yeah, it's just finished 2-2. So Inter were 1-0 up time. Lazio equalised. Inter went 2-1 up. Lazio equalised again in the 88th minute penalty.
Napoli drew 0-0.
So what does that mean? Stocky, you're first on Serie A. What does that mean?
Mate, West Ham are killing my love for football this year.
Well, you got Orient though.
So that means, oh wait, no. Well, Napoli are a point ahead still going into the last game of the season.
That's so lucky, man.
Yeah, I have a far superior goal difference, although I don't know how it goes in terms of how they decide who wins it. Let me just look at the fixtures for next week. Inter are away at Como, and Napoli are at home to Calgary.
Yeah, Napoli's won it.
You don't know. Oh God, scenes if McTominay gets a league title.
Oh mate. Matt Tomadonna.
Yes. Yes.
Gotta love it.
Oh yeah, and as you said the other day, Mitch, the Spinny Man.
Yeah.
In the Europa
in the conference final. If the Spinny Man goes and wins the conference final.
By the way,
man.
my boy Pablo Fornals, they lost today 4-1, I think it was, last time I looked. But he got a banger.
Was that him doing the scissor kick?
Yeah.
Oh, sick. What goal that
Yeah,
was,
my boy Pablo. My sweet prince. Never forgotten.
Right, let's roll into Wednesday then, because we've already briefly touched on it. Tottenham badge isn't very clear, but I couldn't be bothered to find another one. Tottenham, Man United, Europa League Final, 16th and 17th of the Premier League. One of them is going into the Champions League. We've briefly touched on it. I would prefer Tottenham to win, but think Man United win. And I think what I could gather, you two would both prefer Man United to win either way.
Of course.
I mean,
of course.
Right. You say this like it was an easy thing. Honestly, it's very difficult for me to say that because I would really like to see the end of Man United financially. Because it'd be well deserved. It'd be well deserved. But there's a lot of misdirected Tottenham supporters, and I don't really want their day in the sun. Yeah. I don't want to be here.
No, that's fair enough.
But again, on a personal level, I've got lots of friends making their own way out there. But this is, as we know, it's plane, trains, and automobiles. We've got people going over on boats.
Yeah,
I know some people that have already started driving.
Yeah,
there's madness going on.
Big up everybody that's taken a very rogue route, by the way. That's massive respect, especially if you haven't even got a ticket. So if you're watching and you're already en route and it's like you're driving somewhere through France at the minute to get there, big up to you.
Or on a boat, as our good friend Chris on SpursKingsTV. I know someone that goes away on a family holiday on a Tuesday. He's getting them checked in, flying out to the game on Wednesday, just going to stay awake, then fly back to the family on the Thursday.
That's it.
Wow.
I'm hearing all kinds of madness. And do you know what? It's a European final. You got to do these things. Unfortunately for them, it could be an absolute shit ass of a game.
Yeah.
I would just like to say before we move on, Stocky has just called all of you people he's mentioned friends, but also said he hopes you do all of that and lose.
Say that louder.
So take of that what you will, but I would say that's a loose usage of the word friend.
I wonder what admin's clipping this week for YouTube. I said on a personal level, I want them to do well, but as a club, just so. I'm sure they'd say the same about me.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah, I'm so here for the loser. I am.
Samir's either way, he's having a good night.
I'm here for the loser because that 17th and 16th place is still going to be there. I have to hold that.
Someone is catching crazy amount of corn if they
because this is the lowest finish ever. I can't believe what I'm seeing. And we can't really attack them too much right now. We're just waiting for that Europa League to finish and for the season to be completely done because that 16th, 17th finish is ugly for them to. For them to talk so much, like for them to be in this league position. Oh my days, I'm after them.
Go on, Stocks.
I was going to say, what are you two thinking about the intricacies of the actual game itself? Because it's going to be a bit of a tough one to predict. Because as it's been widely repeated, Tottenham have beaten 3 times, but they're missing virtually a midfield. I had a look into this evening, and that's really got to affect them.
Yeah.
So I think it's more in Man United's advantage, isn't it? Didn't you say, Mitch, that Man United have some players back?
It looks like Man United are as close to full strength as they could have expected to be a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Xerxes still out, but they've known that for a few weeks. Dallow's been out for a few weeks. Martinez is always injured anyway, and Delit's been out for a few weeks. Yoro's the one who got injured Friday, I believe, or the game before. and there's talk that he's going to play.
Really?
Yeah.
The way I heard it, it was sounding like it was a bit of a bad one, but fair play to him.
I initially heard it was a broken bone in the foot,
right.
which sounded like he was out. But the news is the sort of noise is coming out of Man United is that he's going to play.
Have they put him into the David Beckham oxygen tent?
They've probably done everything they can, because without him, who do they play as a back three? Is it Maguire, Shaw, Lindelof, which isn't horrific, but it still isn't great.
It's not good.
That's not good at all.
It's not good. I'd worry about the lack of mobility against a Solanke.
Yeah. No, I reckon Maguire deals with Solanke pretty easily, to be honest.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's one of them funny ones, because although I do see your point about Maguire dealing with Solanke, if it creates space for other people, but then we've already mentioned, is there going to be Tottenham players coming through in the midfield to exploit their gaps? So I was having a look. Bergvall, ankle, Madison, knee, Kulusevski, knee, and Sarr as a back injury. Sarr's the most recent one.
Well, he's out completely.
Sarr came off at half time.
Yeah, I just saw a couple of news items that he was injured, and I've checking on the Premier League site. He's got a back injury, so if he has that today, obviously you can work on a back injury, perhaps, but it's not good.
That's not looking good at all.
It's not great.
Yeah, that's three of their best players.
Yeah.
Well, certainly in Kulusevski, although
a
couple of people have said his form's dropped off a bit recently, but he's still maybe, as we were saying, if Solanke can move Maguire about, Brennan Johnson, although he's not always the best on the ball, he knows how to find himself in areas. He's got the pace to get in the areas and follow up.
Yeah.
Maybe if he can find some gaps, Son have a little swan song, perhaps.
Could be. If Lindelof plays that area, if Son's going to play on the left, that's where I feel Tottenham will get their joy. I don't think Johnson gets much change out of Luke Shaw if he plays as part of the back three. Equally as much as if you put Mazwari as part of the back three rather than a wing back, I don't think Son gets much change out of him either, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's not been a bad signing. I know he's not set the world alight, but sort of he's been solid-ish.
Solid, functional. Yeah.
Yeah. And you said about Shaw, I know he gets dug out repeatedly on socials for being injury prone, but when he's fit, I think he's a bit underrated in terms of ability myself. I quite like him. It's just
he's class. Like
just gets injured so much.
Yeah,
it's a shame.
So much though, and then comes back from England.
But the fact is, when he's fit and firing, he's class. Like there's no two ways about it. Luke Shaw is, and everybody's heard me rave about Lewis Hall. Luke Shaw's England's best left back comfortably when he's fit and firing.
Yeah,
I don't even think there's much debate around that either.
Oh. Unfortunately, it's just too seldom to be seen, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've been backing Man United for this, and it's mainly because of one player whose attitude really rubs me the wrong way. But he's a big game player, and that's Fernandes.
Yeah, I
don't like him, but if Man United have got a winner in their side who's going to drag them through, I feel like it's going to be based around what he can do.
Yeah. He's as much as he's a little scumbag and a little rat, he's probably going to be the best player on the pitch, and he's probably going to be the most influential player on the pitch because that is what he does.
Yeah, it all comes from him.
I don't think he's the best. Don't think he's got the best footballing brain. If you want to keep the ball and you want to keep the ball for a long period of time, Bruno Fernandes is not the guy. Man United fans hate the fact he gives the ball away and says he plays grenade football, but his job is to risk the football, trying to create something.
Yeah,
and there's not that many better players in that position who do that in world football, and I can't see how people don't see that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Maybe some questions about who he's loading the gun for.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah,
to my
yeah.
knowledge, Van der Ven's fit and looking fine. Who's the other? Is it Denswell, the new Tottenham
Danso,
centre?
Kevin
Danso,
Danso. Is
yeah.
Romero injured then?
No.
Oh no, Ramiro must be fine as well then. So
Yeah,
Tottenham are going in with essentially a first choice back four because, to my knowledge, Doggy and Porro are free. So they're going to be going up against Haaland, Garnacho, and who's going to take the other side?
Dallo.
Oh yeah,
No, it'd be Ahmad.
Ahmad. Dallo.
yes, Dallo.
Yeah,
He's injured. Yeah,
yeah.
Ahmad. Doggy's pretty nippy as well. Do you reckon he can keep Dallo quiet?
I don't think he can. He's
No.
been injured for periods, and I think and Tottenham have made a massive mistake on Friday because they made wholesale changes. So for all of these players like Van der Ven, who hasn't played loads of football, for Romero, who hasn't played loads of football, for the goalkeeper who's missed periods of time, they're asking him to come in cold and turn it on the night.
I was just about to ask that. I was about to ask about how because he's rested both of them for 2 games now, and they haven't played at all. So now to play in the final and basically kind of like warm up. Like how
He's asking the whole back five to do that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
None of the back five played Friday night, so he's asking them all to come in cold and turn it on in a final. Like they haven't. They're not natural born winners to do stuff like that. To just miss out and be like, right, big game. You might get 1 or 2 of them doing it, but all of them across the board,
that's stupid.
This is another reason why I'm leaning towards Man United, because they put in a half decent, good performance against Chelsea.
Yeah,
they were okay. So, and they're building into the game. Like Amad's just back from injury; he's now got a lot of minutes under his belt. There's Mason Mount's got more minutes under his belt and stuff like that. And I feel like this is where Ange got it wrong.
Yeah, they've all had a run out before a cup final, so they've all got to go. Like now, the other two got to get used to like playing again after missing 2 games, which is surprising to me, man. Honestly,
it feels like he shit the bed to me.
Yeah.
It feels like he picked up the the Kulusevski injury, which was the last one.
Yeah,
they picked up that injury, and then he thought, "Nah, I can't risk it. Can't risk it. I'm going to have to rest everybody." And I don't think it was a good idea.
I don't think so either.
Really don't. If they'd all been playing all season, and it was like, right, I'm going to give you all a little break before the final, I kind of think it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But they've been so in and out and so in and out and so in and out. And as someone who's had injuries a few times over the years, the thing you want off the back of an injury is game time.
Games.
Back to back to back to back to back. You don't want to get to a point and then drop off again and then just have to turn it on in a cup final. That's the last thing you want.
That is stupid, man. Honestly, that's stupid.
So
one game, but to miss both, like, I don't like that at all. I'm leaning towards United, to be fair, because they pretty much played everyone on.
They were full strength. Yeah. I reckon they're potentially going to go same again unless Euro. Wait, let me see. Let me just double check the lineup before I say that. Yeah, unless Euro's fit, they go same again.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Maybe Garnacho comes in, but I don't think so because he's a winger and he likes to play 2-10. So I think he'll be Mount and Diallo. So I think he just goes same. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he just goes same again.
Exactly. I know they lost, but they
played all right though. That's the thing, is they're leading into a cup final, and they've gone from about 6 weeks ago to not playing well, conceding quite a few goals, to now starting to create a few chances and not giving up that many chances either. Like they're not a wide open side where Onana's having to make loads of saves anymore. Like I remember earlier on in the season, I was laughing because they were getting on average, something like 22 shots against them every game.
Yeah,
I remember watching Bournemouth away after a game that I'd played on a Saturday with Stocky, Stevie Newlands, and we were counting how many shots Bournemouth were having, and we was up to about 12 after 20 minutes. It was like, it's just crazy.
Yeah, that's true. They have changed in that bit, to be fair.
Keepers would be an interesting one Wednesday night as well. Both, neither have had sparkling seas. Vicario's been injured, but he's prone to a gaff. Onana's had a bit of a stinker this season overall. Although you mentioned they're getting tighter recently. Yeah. It could be like who makes the first mistake, couldn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Like throughout both defensive units, because neither of it. Well, you don't end up there in the league if you're watertight, do you?
Yeah.
So yeah, do you know what? They're both so bad. It could be a terrible game. Or both so bad they just go.
Let's give
It
it
could
a
be
shot.
like two boxers just planting their feet and swinging.
Yeah.
It could be. It could be a little bit like Eubank Ben, where someone tries to go tactical at the beginning, and then it's just like, you know what, f this. Let's just go at it,
Gung ho. Yeah.
toe to toe. See who can score. See who can score the most.
I mean, I don't know. Tottenham obviously notoriously high line. Would you, if you was Amarin, would you not tinker and try and get Ahmad like higher up to exploit?
Yeah.
Well, any other manager might think about that, but as we've seen with Amarin so far, he doesn't care. It's his system. He plays his system. His system is his system.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're going to see much different to what we've seen from either manager, to be honest, because they both tend to just do the same thing over
It's
and over.
mad. Rinse and repeat. Maybe was it the first sign of madness is doing the same thing and expecting that outcome to change.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it will be an interesting game. It might not be an exciting game. It will be interesting. So we'll see how that goes over the night. But we haven't really got a full-on main topic this week. So the last thing we're going to talk about is these games that are all happening next weekend.
Sheffield United playing twice. Shit.
Oh, got my image wrong again. I was looking at that for about 20 minutes before I flipped it over as well and didn't even spot it. So, yeah, I messed that up. It's because the thingies are so similar.
Yeah.
There we go.
Let's see. No one even look. The change barely even gets noticed because all you do is you invert the red and the black and change the name, and that's it. It's both got swords on it and everything.
I wonder.
But we've got Sheffield United against Sunderland, which I already know who Samir wants to win because he's a prick like that.
Come on, Sunderland.
But this is the Championship playoff final, the Moneyball game, which is 3:00 next Saturday afternoon. I'm going to go with Stocky first because I know Samir wants Sunderland to win regardless. Which is a piss take because Dwight Gale paid for Newcastle, man. What's wrong with you?
That's true. He's retired now.
Yeah, big up Dwight Gale, by the way, who retired this week.
Yeah.
Big up you.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah.
Nice one. Good career. Plenty of goals.
Yeah.
And from the ends, even better.
Yeah.
That just a little bit on that. That is one of the most surreal moments as a Newcastle fan in my life, of sitting up the lodge, watching Newcastle results come in. Dwight Gale banging in goals in the Championship around a group of his friends. It's just bonkers.
Yeah.
To even think that was a thing. Newcastle's number 9 was a local boy and he was banging in goals every single week.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, very, very surreal for me, but a great time.
This Championship playoff final is a bit of an odd one because I didn't fancy either of these teams in their previous legs. Like I thought Sheffield notoriously do not like the playoffs. They've had troubles over the years, and Sunderland were in horrendous form. And both of them kind of did what they had to do to get over the line, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really at a loss, to be honest. I must say I can't pick a winner. What I will do though is watch and enjoy it because it just tends to be a good game over the years. Even when I've had to go through it, it's been an alright game. So I will go Sunderland.
Yeah.
Hashtag blame Tevez. Sheffield.
Oh yeah, shit.
So you both have ulterior motives behind it.
Yeah. So welcome to the Premier League, Sheffield United.
Yeah. So this one's weird to me because I look at the way they've got here, and it looks like one team's playing really well, not conceding goals, scoring a bag full, and then Sunderland have scraped their way through against Coventry, and it's one of them games that is it going to come down to the team that knows how to grind it out, which points towards Sunderland, or is it going to be that Sheffield United are going to turn up and actually score a couple of goals and win it quite clear?
We were the third best team in the championship this year.
Yeah.
So the better
But
team.
in any other game, if this was just a random game during the season based off that, if I was looking at form, I would go Sheffield United. But because it's a playoff final, I feel it's more down to the team that just grinds it out.
Yeah.
All the pretty football and all the goals that you scored previously go out the window, and it's just finding a way to win. And Sunderland look to be the team that potentially are better at just finding the way to win. So I would be swaying slightly towards Sunderland.
I like that. I don't know about you, but I just don't want to see Sheffield United again in the Premier League. Don't know what it is.
I didn't want to see either of these two teams again in the Premier League, to be honest. I wanted it to be Bristol City or Coventry. I literally couldn't care less about Sunderland. It makes no odds to me. Genuinely, I don't know a single Sunderland fan. So they're just irrelevant. It's just close. It's just a place that's close to Newcastle for me. It doesn't make any difference.
Yeah. I'm on Sunderland. Yeah.
But okay, so we've all gone Sunderland. So that means Sheffield United are going to win. Because as we've seen, our betting as a collective is pretty crap. But on that note, which completely flips that script on its head, we have got Leyton Orient against Charlton in the final, which, as a pod collective, we agreed on.
Yeah. Wow.
This was the one we didn't bet on a winner. We bet on Leyton Orient and Charlton to meet in the final. Yeah. And here it is. We might have got everything else wrong.
Got this one right. Yeah.
But this one we have got right.
Yeah.
So far we had Coventry, they're out. We had Chesterfield, they're out. These two are still in. Man City have lost the cup final, so that was wrong as well. So at the minute we're doing quite badly. But the Mighty O's, Charlton Athletic, which is next Sunday, 1 p.m. kickoff, Wembley again.
That's going to be big for the world.
I'm going to roll to Samir because I think we're all going to say the same thing anyway. I already 100% know what Stocky's going to say. I don't know if Samir's going to be more analytical with it, or we're just going to roll out East London for
exactly. I'm going to go with my heart. I'm going to go with Leyton Orient.
Yeah, I'm not even going to break down any kind of analysis here. Orient are going to win, regardless of what happens. Whoever plays the better football, Orient win all the way. Big up E10.
Yeah, I hope so. Man alive, they got through the hard way. As Jack was saying, I think it was last week, like Stockport were easily the third best team in the division.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Orient had their luck along the way, but you know what? Sometimes it's good to be a lucky side.
Yes.
Let's just hope they've got one more game in there. It's been a tremendous effort from a side that didn't have no wins in 9 at the start of the season. They were like relegation zone.
Miles off it at Christmas as well, by the way.
Yeah, like historic. I think the only team that amassed more points since December were Birmingham. So Orient have, in the same time, Orient have got more points than Wrexham, who are like the darlings of bloody League One. So just hope they can get one more result in. They've got the league's top scorer in Kelman, so but Charlton are a good side as well. It's going to be a really tough game.
Yeah,
really tough game. But you're in a playoff final. It's not going to be easy, is it? You don't get walkovers in playoff finals.
of course not.
Just everything crossed for Orient, because although the championship would be such a massive step up, and it would be they haven't been in the second tier in over a generation. But at the minute, they've recently got new investment, so they're gearing everything up to build to become a championship club. And although they'd be you'd easily say they're ahead of their timings. Just being in the championship with you would just help them achieve them goals sooner, becoming a championship standard club in terms of facilities, ground, da. But as I say, Charlton have done this before, haven't they, with playoffs?
Yeah, 100%.
So I know it's a long time ago, but clubs, fans, these things stay. It becomes part of tradition within the club. You're constantly reminded. I mean, me myself, I've already been to 3 playoff finals with Orient, and they've lost all of them.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
You didn't tell us that.
I mean, I've been old Wembley, Cardiff, new Wembley.
Wow.
Yeah.
We didn't want to do that.
I'll be honest, this is part of my in that I'm a fucking jinx.
Oh no.
Yeah. Hey, we'll be 4th time lucky. Yeah. And again, Orient with another local lad in Beckles playing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Whose sister was in my class at school. She was in our year at school, wasn't she, Stocks?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So really hope that comes through as well.
Yeah.
Loving the East London representation.
Honestly.
That show.
Honestly, man.
Just a little bit on their head-to-head this season. So at the minute, Charlton are 2-1 up. Charlton won both league games, and Orient won away at Charlton in the EFL Cup. I'm not sure what the actual is. It the Papa John's Trophy it's called now?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the head-to-head on that game. Just to give you the same on Sunderland, Sheffield United. That is 1-1 in games currently, with the home team winning both league games.
Oh, nice.
So very well balanced.
Yeah.
And I believe all of the Orient Charlton games came quite a bit earlier on in the season.
Oh, okay.
So I even think the second league game was not that deep into the season as well. So it's a completely different Orient now.
Yeah.
So it will be interesting to see how that goes down.
Big game.
Right. And finally, we have AFC Wimbledon against Walsall. Wimbledon with their very Nazi Germany looking symbol. And Walsall FC. I can't even pretend to know anything about either of these two teams.
Yeah,
I watched a little bit of AFC Wimbledon the other evening as it was on, and they look a decent side, to be fair. Don't look like they give up too many chances. They beat Notts County 2-0 on aggregate to get to this point, whereas Walsall knocked out our pick in Chesterfield 4-1 over the 2 games. So again, it's another one team that are kind of grinding results out, not conceding many, scoring very few, and then Chesterfield, who potentially score a few more goals, but actually concede a few more as well. So it could be another good game. Interesting little battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I must say, my knowledge of League Two ain't as hot as it should be.
Yes.
I'll just pick AFC Wimbledon because it's nice, and you just want to see them play MK, smash them up.
They were in the same league this year, though, weren't they?
MK Dons gone down again.
I'm pretty sure MK Dons are in League Two at the minute.
Well, I just want to see them go above them. I don't know. Again, it's really tight to call.
We finished third. Third?
Also,
Walsall finished fourth. MK
Yeah.
Dons finished fifth. There was 4 points between them.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's still like extremely tight. There's no real indication on league. It's not like sort of third and sixth or fourth and seventh, whatever it was playing. It's so tight to call.
Yeah. And Walsall drew at AFC Wimbledon and won at Walsall in the league games against them this season.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go Walsall then. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go Walsall purely because I hate that badge. Sorry. It's taken me all these years to realise. Me and Stocky figured out why I didn't realise it before the other day when we looked at the old Wimbledon badge and it was different colours. So, yeah, now due to my hatred of that Wimbledon badge, I want Walsall to win.
Because of the badge, yeah.
I'd like to state I'm going to go AFC Wimbledon, but it's nothing to do with the reasons that Mitch is
Hey, you've got skinhead and everything, mate.
Yeah, I know. Middle-aged white man with a skinhead is nothing with that.
No, as much as we joke, I can confirm that Stocky has nothing to do with any of that kind of thing. I'm going to say that now. We've been friends a very, very long time. Not even a hint of it.
Well, didn't this take a turn?
Hey! Last week we had people calling Samir Stocky because I was seeing the wrong screen for the intro. I just don't want people to be labelled wrong.
Yeah.
In the chat, I want to be known as Stocks that.
Mate, it's not always cracked up to be.
Yeah. But does anybody else have anything they want to add before we wrap?
Not too much. I mean, I must say, after a horrendous season watching West Ham, I'm looking forward to going to see my last game of the year at Wembley, and then check it out for a few months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, apart from on here.
Oh yeah, that's all right. I'm talking about it. Having to watch West Ham is a totally different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
I'm already looking forward to next season to give you a deep analytical breakdown of the relegation battle in the Premier League, because I am going to be knee deep in that.
Well, you will have to talk a little bit of West Ham at some point, because next time we're all together maybe not next time, but one of the times we're all together as a group on here, we will have to do a little bit on what we feel our teams are going to do next season.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, to be fair.
So that will come up. But for those that are watching, we're not a channel that's going to disappear over the summer. We're still going to run similar types of shows. Our little catch-up will be around transfers and the World Club Cup when it's running, and we will still have a topic after we've done our catch-up. And we're going to run all the way through the summer. So same time, stick with us.
Yes.
No Monday evenings on SpursKingsTV. Tomorrow, I will be back Wednesday on what could be a very interesting rivals. Directly after the Europa League final, we are going live. Spurs Kings, potentially about 10:30 Wednesday. Trust me, this one's going to go off.
It could be heated.
Everyone who's usually on is committed to be there after the finals. So people are getting a little bit of extra time to get home, and then we will be live. So tune in for that.
There will be blood.
But boys, it has been an absolute pleasure as always. A fantastic show. And everybody, like, share, subscribe. See you next Sunday. Peace.